Jai Hind everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, which is Explore Yourselves, Banking and General Knowledge, etc. Jai Hind, your daily boost, Tithi, Nakshatra, and important anniversaries, a spiritual and historical insight of 12th February 2025, Wednesday, Bengali date, 29 মাঘ 1431. As per Venimadov Ponjika, today's Tithi is Purnima and up to 1909 hours, and after that Krishna Pratibad. Today is Nakshatra, Aslesha Nakshatra, and up to 1935 hours, and after that Magha Nakshatra. Today is 43rd day of the year. There are then 322 days left in 2025. Today is 7th Wednesday of 2025. Today is Guru Ravidas Jayanti. Guru Ravidas Jayanti is the birthday of Ravidas, celebrated on Magh Purnima, the full moon day in the month of Magha month. It is the annual focal point for the festival in India. People across countries celebrate this special occasion in India. Also, devotees take a holy dip in the river to perform rites. The 2020 date for the Jayanti was 9th February and the 2021 date was 16th February. He is known as a spiritual man and also as a social reformer because of his work against casteism. He was contemporary to Saint Kabir. Today is Hag Day. Hag Day is celebrated on 12th February as part of Valentine's Week. It is a day to express love, warmth, and affection by giving comforting hugs to loved ones. Hug symbolizes care, security, and emotional connection, making it a simple yet powerful gesture. Today is Red Hand Day. On Red Hand Day, or the International Day Against the Use of Child Soldiers, in February 12th each year since 2002, pleas are made to political leaders and events are staged around the world to draw attention to child soldiers. Children under the age of 18 who participate in military organizations of all kinds. Red Hand Day aims to call for action to stop this practice and support children affected by it. Today is Darwin Day. World Darwin Day, also known as National Darwin Day, is celebrated on February 12th every year. It commemorates the birthday of Charles Darwin, a British naturalist and biologist who is known for his theory of evolution by natural selection. Darwin Day is a celebration to commemorate the birthday of Charles Darwin on 12th February 1809. The day is used to highlight Darwin's contributions to science and to promote science in general. Darwin Day is celebrated around the world. Today is National Plum Pudding Day. National Plum Pudding Day is celebrated on February 12th. It's a day to learn about the history and traditions of this traditional Christmas dessert. Today is National Productivity Day. National Productivity Day is celebrated in India on February 12th every year. It's a day to promote productivity, efficiency, and innovation across the country. Today is Makka Bucha Day. Magha Puja, also written as Makha Puja Day, is a Buddhist festival celebrated on the full moon day of the third lunar month in Cambodia, Laos, Thailand, Sri Lanka, and on the full moon day of Tabaung in Myanmar. It is the second most important Buddhist festival after Vesak. It celebrates a gathering that was held between the Buddha and 1250 of his first disciples, which according to tradition preceded the custom of periodic recitation of discipline by monks. On the day, Buddhists celebrate the creation of an ideal and exemplary community, which is why it is sometimes called Sangha Day. The Sangha referring to the Buddhist community, and for some Buddhist schools, this is specifically the monastic community. In Thailand, the Pali term Magha Puranami is also used for the celebration, meaning to honor on the full moon of the third lunar month. Finally, some authors refer to the day as the Buddhist All Saints' Day. In pre-modern times, Magha Puja has been celebrated by some Southeast Asian communities, but it became widely popular in the modern period when it was instituted in Thailand by King Rama IV in the mid-19th century. From Thailand, it is spread to other South and Southeast Asian countries. Presently, it is a public holiday in some of these countries. It is an occasion when Buddhists go to the temple to perform merit-making activities such as almsgiving, meditation, and listening to teachings. It has been proposed in Thailand as a more spiritual alternative to the celebration of Valentine's Day. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Charles Darwin, 12th February 1809 to 19th April 1882. Charles Robert Darwin was an English naturalist, geologist, and biologist widely known for his contributions to evolutionary biology. His proposition that all species of life have descended from a common ancestors is now generally accepted and considered a fundamental scientific concept. In a joint presentation with Alfred Russel Wallace, he introduced his scientific theory that this branching pattern of evolution resulted from a process he called natural selection, in which the struggle for existence has a similar effect to the artificial selection involved in selective breeding. Darwin has been described as one of the most influential figures in human history and was honored by burial in Westminster Abbey. Darwin's early interest in nature led him to neglect his medical education at the University of Edinburgh. Instead, he helped to investigate marine invertebrates. His studies at the University of Cambridge, Christ College from 1828 to 1831 encouraged his passion for natural science. However, it was his 5-year voyage on HMS Beagle from 1831 to 1836 that truly established Darwin as an eminent geologist. The observations and theories he developed during his voyage supported Charles Lyell's concept of gradual geological change. Publication of his journal of the voyage made Darwin famous as a popular author. Puzzled by the geographical distribution of wildlife and fossils he collected on the voyage, Darwin began detailed investigations and in 1838 devised his theory of natural selection. Although he discussed his ideas with several naturalists, he needed time for extensive research and his geological work had priority. He was writing up his theory in 1858 when Alfred Russel Wallace sent him an essay that described the same idea, prompting the immediate joint submission of both their theories to the Linnean Society of London. Darwin's work established evolutionary descent with modifications as the dominant scientific explanation of natural diversification. In 1871, he examined human evolution and sexual selection in the descent of man and selection in relation to sex, followed by the expression of the emotions in man and animals. 1872. His research on plants was published in a series of books, and in his final book, The Formation of Vegetable Mode through the Actions of Worms, 1881, he examined earthworms and their effect on soil. Darwin published his theory of evolution with compelling evidence in his 1859 book on the origin of species. By the 1870s, the scientific community and a majority of the educated public had accepted evolution as a fact. However, many initially favored competing explanations that gave only a minor role to natural selection, and it was not until the emergence of the modern evolutionary synthesis from the 1930s to the 1950s that a broad consensus developed in which natural selection was the basic mechanism of evolution. Darwin's scientific discovery is the unifying theory of the life sciences, explaining the diversity of life. Today is birth anniversary of Swami Dayanand Saraswati, 12th February 1824 to 30th October 1883. Dayanand Saraswati was a Hindu philosopher and social leader who was the founder and first leader of the Arya Samaj, a reform movement of Hinduism. His book Sattat Prakash has remained one of the influential texts on the philosophy of the Vedas and clarifications of various ideas and duties of human beings. He was the first to give the call for Swaraj as India for Indians in 1876, a call letter taken up by Lokmanya Tilak, denouncing the idolatry and ritualistic worship. He worked towards reviving Vedic ideologies. Subsequently, the philosopher and President of India, S. Radhakrishnan, called him one of the makers of modern India, as did Sri Aurobindo. Those who were influenced by and followed Dayanand included Chaudhry Charan Singh, Madam Kama, Pandit Lekram, Swami Sadhananda, Swamiji Krishna Varma, Kishan Singh, Bhagat Singh, Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, Bhai Parmanand, Lala Hardayal, Madan Lal Dhingra, Ram Prasad Bismil, Mahadev Govind Ranade, Ashfaqullah Khan, Mahatma Hansraj, Lala Lajpat Rai, Jogmaya Newpane, Vallabhbhai Patel, and others. He was a sannyasi, ascetic from boyhood, and a scholar. He believed in the infallible authority of the Vedas. Dayananda advocated the doctrines of karma and reincarnation. He emphasized the Vedic ideals of brahmacharya, including celibacy and devotion to God. Among Dayananda's contributions were his opposition to untouchability, promotion of the equal rights for women, and his commentary on the Vedas from Vedic Sanskrit in Sanskrit as well as in Hindi. Today is death anniversary of Mr. S.P.L. Sorensen, 9th January 1868 to 12th February 1939. S.P.L. Sorensen was a Danish chemist best known for introducing the pH scale, which measures the acidity or alkalinity of a solution. While working at the Carlsberg laboratory in 1909, he developed the concept of pH potential of hydrogen to express hydrogen ion concentration logarithmically, simplifying acid-base chemistry. His work significantly advanced biochemistry, helping scientists understand enzyme activity, fermentations, and physiological processes. Sorensen's contributions remain fundamental to chemistry, medicine, and environmental science today. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Charles Freer Andrews, 12th February 1871 to 5th April 1940. Charles Freer Andrews was an Anglican priest and Christian missionary, educator and social reformer, and an activist for Indian independence. He became a close friend of Rabindranath Tagore and Mahatma Gandhi and identified with the Indian liberation struggle. He was instrumental in convincing Gandhi to return to India from South Africa, where Gandhi had been a leading light in the Indian civil rights struggle. Andrews was affectionately dubbed Christ's faithful apostle by Gandhi, based on his initials CFA. For his contributions to the Indian independence movement. Gandhi's students at St. Stephen's College, Delhi, named him Dinabandhu, or friend of the poor. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Subhas Mukhopadhyay, 12th February 1919 to 8th July 2003. Subhas Mukhopadhyay was one of the foremost Indian Bengali poets of the 20th century. He is also known as the Padatik Kavi, foot soldier poet, in the field of Bengali literature. A book of 30 of Subhas's best known poems in English translation titled As Day is Breaking was published in 2014 by Anjan Bosu, a Bangalore based writer and critic. The book includes a rather detailed introduction to the poet's work as well. He was honored with Gyanpith Award in 1991. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Abraham Lincoln, 12th February 1809 to 15th April 1865. Abraham Lincoln was the 16th President of the United States, serving from 1861 until his assassination in 1865. He led the United States through the American Civil War, defending the nation as a constitutional union defeating the Confederacy, playing a major role in the abolition of slavery, expanding the power of the federal government, and modernizing the US economy. Lincoln was born into poverty in a long log cabin in Kentucky and was raised on the frontier, mainly in Indiana. He was self-educated and became a lawyer, Whig Party leader, Illinois state legislator, and US representative from Illinois. In 1849, he returned to his successful law practice in Springfield, Illinois. In 1854, angered by the Kansas-Nebraska Act, which opened the territories to slavery, he re-entered politics. He soon became a leader of the new Republican Party. He reached a national audience in the 1858 Senate campaign debates against Stephen A. Douglas. Lincoln ran for president in 1860, sweeping the North to gain victory. Pro-slavery elements in the South viewed his election as a threat to slavery. Southern states began seceding from the nation. They formed the Confederate States of America, which began sieging federal military bases in the South. A little over 1 month after Lincoln assumed the presidency, Confederate forces attacked Fort Sumter, a U.S. fort in South Carolina. Following the bombardment, Lincoln mobilized forces to suppress the rebellion and restore the Union. Lincoln, a moderate Republican, had to navigate a contentious array of factions with friends and opponents from both the Democratic and Republican parties. His allies, the war Democrats and the radical Republicans, demanded harsh treatment of the Southern Confederates. He managed the factions by exploiting their mutual enmity, carefully distributing political patronage, and by appealing to the American people. Anti-war Democrats, called Copperheads, displaced Lincoln, and some irreconcilable pro-Confederate elements went so far as to plot his assassination. His Gettysburg Address became one of the most famous speeches in American history. Lincoln closely supervised the strategy and tactics in the war effort, including the selection of generals, and implemented a naval blockade of the South Straits. He suspended habeas corpus in Maryland and elsewhere, and he averted war with Britain by defusing the Trent affair. In 1863, he issued the Emancipation Proclamation, which declared the slaves in the states in rebellion to be free. It also directed the army and navy to recognize and maintain the freedom of said persons and to receive them into the armed service of the United States. Lincoln pressured border states to outlaw slavery, and he promoted the 13th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, which abolished slavery, except as punishment for a crime. Lincoln managed his own successful re-election campaign. He sought to heal the war-torn nation through reconciliation. On April 14, 1865, just 5 days after the Confederate surrender at Appomattox, he was attending a play at Ford's Theatre in Washington, D.C. with his wife Mary when he was fatally shot by Confederate sympathizer John Wilkes Booth. Lincoln is remembered as a martyr and a national hero for his wartime leadership and for his efforts to preserve the Union and abolish slavery. He is often ranked in both popular and scholarly polls as the greatest president in American history. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Julian Seymour Squinger, 12th February 1918 to 16th July 1994. Julian Seymour Squinger was a Nobel Prize-winning American theoretical physicist. He is best known for his work on quantum electrodynamics (QED), in particular for developing a relativistically invariant perturbation theory for renormalizing QED to one-loop order. Squinger was a physics professor at several universities. Squinger is recognized as an important physicist responsible for much of modern quantum field theory, including a variational approach and the equations of motion for quantum fields. He developed the first electroweak model and the first example of confinement in 1 plus 1 dimensions. He is responsible for the theory of multiple neutrinos, squinger terms, and the theory of the spin 3 by 2 field. Thank you very much for your patience. Request was like, share and subscribe.